welcome back to another video. So I have Handyman here helping me film now, and we're gonna try to bang out videos for you guys every week because it's been really hard doing the stuff by myself. Our house is finally done. He has time to help me. You know, we've got the monthly menu rolling, so we're all set now. We have time to make videos every week for you guys. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if he wants to say hello.
Hello.
So today we're gonna do 3 breakfast recipes for maximum weight loss. People really like these videos, so that's what we're gonna do. These are really simple. We're gonna start with a potato scramble, kind of like Mexican style type thing that you bake in the oven. So we'll just get started. I have probably, I would say this is like 1.5 pounds of pre-steamed potatoes. So I'm just gonna chop these up. These are just potatoes that I put in my Instant Pot, and I just put them in there for 5 minutes on a little steamer tray, and then I cook them for 5 minutes. And when they're this size, I release it like right away, but when they're bigger, like if they're russets, I'll let it usually naturally release because they're just a lot bigger. It's one of those things that you kind of have to play around with because all potatoes are different sizes, and I mean, there's so many people that say even like elevation differences and stuff matter with the Instant Pot. So we're just gonna chop these into little pieces. You can make them as big as you want, and I'm just throwing them in a baking dish. These are, it's like a, what would you say, 9 by 9?
9 by 9.
9 by 9 baking dish.
I can get my tape measure.
Get your tape measure out. And then I also have the oven preheating to 400 degrees. So we're just gonna chop all these babies up. And I really like to start the day, well, lately I've actually been starting my days with juice. So I recently stopped drinking coffee. I know it's like bad. I go in and out of drinking coffee all the time, but I stopped drinking it. I'm never drinking it again. I swear the like detox from this stuff is like, I had the worst headache ever. I felt like I was hungover for like 2 days straight. And it's been giving me a lot of anxiety lately and stuff, so I just decided I'm like totally done with this stuff. So I started drinking juice every morning. I'll have either like a green juice or a fruit juice. And honestly, like my digestion has been so much better from just doing that and cutting out the coffee. And I just feel like I'm getting so many nutrients in the morning that like I just feel a lot less hungry, honestly, during the day. Like I don't feel that kind of ravenous hunger. But I like having potatoes as my first meal because they are so filling, and they, especially when you cook them and then cool them, they contain a lot of resistant starch. So they actually resist digestion when you have resistant starch like that. Actually, any carbohydrate that you cook and cool will have resistant starch. So like pasta, bread has a lot of resistant starch, but I think potatoes are the best. So we're going to add in some bell peppers. I have a bunch here. And then I also have some onions and zucchini. Whenever I have like extra veggies, I just chop them up and throw them in a container. So I'm gonna add these in here. But you could really add like whatever kind of veggies you want into this. I like these types of recipes where you can just throw like leftovers and then you have a nice hearty veggie dish. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of each of these just for the color. I'm not like the biggest bell pepper fan, but I like it when it's cooked. If Derek wasn't eating this, I would totally put mushrooms in it as well, but he doesn't like mushrooms.
I'm not a fun guy.
You're not a fun guy. So add some bell peppers. So I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit. And then I'm gonna add a whole can of black beans that I rinsed and drained. I actually gave some to my cat because he really likes beans. If you guys watch my Instagram stories, I don't know what it is with this cat. But anytime I take out beans or lentils, he just like eats them. And then I just have some frozen corn. I just thought of something that'll make this easier. So I have all these baking dishes that have these lids, and they're really handy because like whenever I make brownies or stuff like this, I can just pop it back in the fridge with the lid. I'm gonna add some spices to this. So I have some chili powder, Chipotle powder, which if you guys have never had this, I got this off Amazon, and this is probably one of my favorite spices. If you guys, I wouldn't say it's spicy. Do you think it's spicy? I mean, yeah, it's from pepper. Yeah, it's spicy. But if you like spicy stuff, it kind of gives it like a smoky, spicy flavor. And I can link it for you guys if you want. And then I'm just gonna add like a tablespoon of chili powder and a little bit of garlic salt. Not a lot, because we're gonna add this amazing cheese sauce I'm gonna tell you guys about. So I'm just gonna shake this up.
Look at you go.
That worked really good. Okay, so we got that all mixed up. I was gonna add some jalapeno peppers in here, but I don't think I'm going to with the Chipotle, because I can feel it in my nose, like it's spicy. Okay, so we're gonna add my newest creation, instant cheese sauce. This is like the coolest thing ever. So I'll put the recipe for this down below, but this is a cheese sauce that you basically, it's like, you know when you get mac and cheese and they have that little powdered packet and you combine it with milk and then you bring it up to a boil and it thickens? That's what this is. So it's basically cashew powder, spices, nutritional yeast, tapioca flour. But I put this on my Instagram, people went crazy about it. It's really easy to make if you don't want to have to like boil potatoes and carrots and onions and blend it and all that stuff. You just take 2 tablespoons of this, which I might do like 3, because this is kind of a lot. And then we're gonna combine it with soy milk. And I've never actually done it like baking it like this, but what you typically do is you just put it into a pan over high heat, and as it heats up, it thickens and it becomes this like thick cheese sauce. But I'm just gonna drizzle it over this. So you combine 2 tablespoons of the mix with a cup of soy milk. And this will just, I think what it's gonna do is just make it really thick and like cheesy. We'll see, this is an experiment, but if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure to go follow me on there, because I post tons of recipes on there. I post them here on YouTube too, like the little shorts, but they don't really get any views. So if you wanna see, like if you were like, I don't want Instagram, if you go to my shorts, you can see all the little Instagram reels that I make. I'm gonna pop this in the oven, just uncovered like this on the top rack, because I want it to get kind of browned, and I'm gonna cook it for probably 30 minutes or so. All right, for the next recipe, we're gonna make peanut butter and jelly overnight oats. If you guys have not tried overnight oats, everybody always says this to me, and I was the same way. They're like, I don't think I would like that, and then they try it and they're like, I'm obsessed with these, they're so good. I feel like overnight oats are better because they're just like really creamy. So this peanut butter jelly recipe is like a lower fat version. I think we'll probably put some of the calories and stuff down below for you guys, because you always ask. But I just have some berries that I blended. I just blended them in my blender. And I've been liking doing this better because you get like this really delicious kind of like jam situation going on. So I always just blend however many berries I'm gonna use. I just blended 2 cups of berries. I'm gonna put the rest on top. But we're gonna add 2/3 of a cup of oats into here. And I have this little like mason jar filler. This thing comes in so handy, because or else you just spill it kind of everywhere. So I got 2/3 cup of oats, and then I just like to add a tablespoon of maple syrup for flavor. You can add 2 tablespoons if you want it a bit sweeter, or you could add some stevia. And then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of chia seeds. which are great for omega-3s, and they also kind of help it taste a bit like jam because it makes everything kind of bind together, and it's really, really yummy. And then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of this is PB&Me. This is the one that I get. It's like an organic one. So I add 2 tablespoons of this in here. And then I'm just gonna lightly mix it up a little bit. I also like to add in a little bit of vanilla. Just like a dash. And then I just mix this up when it's dry, just a tiny bit. And then I just cover it with plant milk. So I usually use soy milk, but I've used homemade almond milk and it's really, really good. So then at the very end, I just like to add the rest of the blended berries on top, but you could add the fly. You could add fresh berries too. I just like to do it on the top and the bottom because it makes it look really fancy, and I'm a fancy kind of girl, I guess. I don't know. Like, I just like stuff to look nice. So just add it on top. You can like push it down and make all these like cool effects with it if you want, but it's really full, so I'm not gonna do that. So then all we're gonna do is just put a lid on it and let this sit in the fridge overnight. I like to make a lot of these at a time, so it's really easy to make like tons of different flavors with these. You can make, like I like to do raspberries on the bottom and make like a chocolate oats. I have a strawberry shortcake oats on my Instagram. I have a mango oatmeal one on my Instagram. And if you guys want me to make those, I can make a video on those as well, but the recipe will be down below for you guys. So I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge and then we'll get on to the next recipe. All right, lastly, we're gonna make the famous green smoothie. I just call this famous because in my meal plan community, people love this thing. If you're not into like juicing, it's great to just make green smoothies as well. This smoothie is actually really filling. Like whenever I have it, I'm full for 4 or 5 hours because there's so much fiber in it. So we're going to chop up an apple. And usually I use green apples for this, but you can use any kind that you like. And things don't have to be like super chopped because it's just gonna blend it. We're gonna add in 2 stalks of celery that I washed. And then I got a cucumber here. We got some pineapple, frozen pineapple, and then a bunch of greens. If you guys struggle with like making breakfast before work, I would highly recommend having a smoothie like this, because once you get used to having a smoothie, you'll realize like how filling it is and your body just kind of gets used to it. Like if you have a really heavy breakfast every morning, your body's gonna always like expect like a really heavy style breakfast. So it just takes a little bit of adjustment. Ever since I started drinking juice, like I'm really not hungry until like noon or so. And then I'll have more of a substantial breakfast because I really don't like snacking. And it's one of the things that I kind of teach people in our meal plan community is if you can get out of the habit of snacking, it'll be so much easier for you to get to your ideal body weight, just because of the fact that like most snacks are not healthy. Like if you're really genuinely hungry and you're having an apple or something as a snack, it's totally fine. But if you're snacking on like pretzels and stuff that, you know, like even crackers with hummus or guacamole or something like that, like it's just really easy to get overstimulated and like always want something like salty or something like that. So we're gonna add a cup of soy milk into here, and then I'm just gonna blend this up. If you guys like this style of video where I'm like chatting with you and talking and showing you how to do everything, I have my guided meal plan in my video course, which is within my monthly meal plan community. So you get guided meal plan, which is me with you every single day. We're making breakfast, lunch, dinner together. We do the meal prep, we do the shopping list together and everything. And there's mindset videos in there. There's yoga videos every month. There's a community of over 1,000 people in there supporting each other and helping each other out. and it's just a really great community. It's only $29.99 a month, so you can sign up and cancel anytime. And if you guys want to join and you like this style of video, you can get so much more in there. So we will leave a link in the description box for that, but here's our delicious green smoothie. It's super creamy. If you guys have never tried putting milk in your smoothies, I highly recommend it. This smoothie is just like full of veggies, and it is definitely my go-to, especially when I'm really busy. All right, so our potato bake is done. I had it in the oven for 30 minutes. I like to just put some greens on the plate just to get some extra greens in my life. Plus, like, the hot potatoes will kind of wilt it, and it's really good. And then I just have this over top. It's got the delicious cheese sauce in there. And I'd say this probably would make about 2 servings the way that we made it, but you could, I mean, I eat huge servings. Even in our meal plan community, people are like, they say the servings are just so big, but the meal plan is like, each meal is around 500 calories, so they're not like big, you know, it's not a lot of calories, it's just a lot of food. So people have lots of success just because they're like, I've never eaten this much food and lost this much weight, and they can't believe it, because it's like the point of eating this way is to have foods that are lower in calorie density, which means that you can eat so much more. So I just like to add in a little bit of greens, like I said, and then I'll just do some hot sauce. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys try these recipes out and love them as much as I do. If you have any other questions or anything, leave them in the comments box below. Like I said, we'll put all the recipes and everything down there for you guys. And if you need any more help on your weight loss journey, check out my monthly meal plan community. We'll leave the link for that in the description as well. And I will be seeing you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.